All right, back at the home studios.
Back home.
Back home.
Fewer barrels.
Fewer logistical nightmares. Still logistical
Oh,
nightmares.
very
Just
much many.
fewer.
Actually, it was smooth over there
It was actually more smooth
than tonight.
than yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
One chord. One chord could
To
make
rule
the
them all.
difference. One chord. Well, we have all that exciting news and more. But before we can get into that, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get into this beer. So, Obi, tell the people what we're drinking tonight.
Tonight we have a Delirium Black Barrel Aged Limited Edition 2020. This is from the family brewery Weeg Brewery. I just figured out it's actually not pronounced
Wieg.
It's from Belgium. They've been brewing since 1654. This is 11.5% ABV, and it's gonna take me a little while to open this bad boy up. So
Don't fucking, what are you doing?
sit.
Don't point it at me.
I'm getting the wrapper off. Relax. You worry too much.
Point it that way.
You worry too much. There we go.
My name is Marco Dupa. This freak who's going to take an eye out is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What's up, brewskis?
And this is episode 301 of the One Beer In podcast. Yeah, that was much better than before. Good job.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
Buddy, that's how you're going to be pouring. I mean,
I poured a little fast and loose.
a little fast and loose.
Just a little bit.
Now, that's okay, because I'll get good at it. And then I'll be the designated pourer.
Okay.
I'm going to have to. For my new job.
Oh, well, you know where I got this from?
Where?
Take a guess.
My new job? Red light, red light.
Yay!
Very exciting stuff. We'll get into that. But let's get into these first. Cheers, friendo.
Cheers.
I'm 30 years old and making exaggerated porn noises. Just never gets old to me.
Yeah, no.
Just a little.
That's what happens when you grow up in the extreme generation.
Yeah, that's all. That's what you consider humor
Yeah.
when you grow up in that generation. You're like,
Shove it.
just a little.
When you're not even a preteen.
No, yeah.
You're like 9.
And you're like,
Suck it.
I definitely, for years, didn't know what that actually meant.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an inclination, but it just never crossed my mind. I mean, it just never crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know you did that. I didn't know you did.
When'd you find out?
When?
Yeah.
Well, the first time I did know. When did I find out? It's weird. It's one of those things that's like, for me, I never had the talk, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm surprised by that, actually, because you come from a family of medical professionals.
well, and they were always so, I don't want to say cavalier, but nonchalant about it, kind of casual about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they just really, for some reason, trusted us. They just shouldn't have done that, you know?
Yeah.
Especially not my brother. And Yeah, so I never like just sat down and had the talk.
Figured out how it all worked out.
I just learned it. What's really, it's funny you say that you're surprised by that. Ugh, excuse me, because not only are they medical professionals, but I also have 2 older brothers. So
Yeah, that helps out too.
and well, it didn't. It could have, but
Yeah.
it didn't.
I mean, it didn't with me either, so don't feel too bad.
No, yeah, I've come to realize that the movies just aren't. They're just not real life. Your brother is not gonna be the one who like takes your hand and goes like this. This is how you're supposed to talk to a girl, and you when you got in your blah blah blah, and they like
Yeah.
give you advice, like maybe bad advice that
Maybe-
you learn later on is like not cool to do. But
Do we have strange relationships with our brothers? Is that what it is? Does everyone else just have like this quote unquote normal relationship with their brother that they're just like,
send us an email at one beer in. I think it's just one beer in, right?
yeah, it's that one beer in.
One
at
beer in at Gmail.
Gmail.
If you have a normal relationship with your brother, who and if he's an older brother and he taught you, how to talk to women, because I think either we have lived very insulated, weird lives, and we only have each other to bounce that off of,
Yeah.
or yes, we're abnormal, because my both of them were just living their own. Like I learned peripherally by watching them.
Yeah, you just observed.
Yeah.
That's what I did too, basically.
But I never. Yeah, we never just sat down and hashed these things out.
It's all in secret and shadow.
Yeah.
Were they still doing the sex ed
Oh, they were doing it.
class
Yes.
for you too?
Yes.
Yeah, you have that one day you go into like an auditorium room and they put on the videotape of
So maybe my parents were like, "That's enough."
he got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely. I don't know, man. There's a lot that informs why you do the things that you do when it comes to stuff like that. Being just, probably overly freaked out about having a kid too young definitely informs like just being like I'll talk to some people who are just like they'll hook up with people and just be like, yeah, I pulled out. I'm like, you pulled out? What is the matter with you?
Not good enough.
No.
I also coming from a mother who was a nurse, she always basically told me the horror stories of like people are full of disease, so you got to wash your hands a lot. You got to wash your hands before you eat, and never have unprotected sex.
No.
That was always a thing. No. And it beyond that, she's like, the religious element of it all of, you have sex with somebody you really care about a lot. It's a gift from God.
Really?
Yes. It's something that you should only share with somebody you really care about and you really love.
Wow.
And check out my OnlyFans.
Hey, we're sharing it with everybody that we love. All of our fans.
I really care about that money, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's how I was raised on it, and that always kept me like, no, you never go unprotected. You always just stick with somebody that you're in a relationship with. I was never a serial dater, never like just a one night stand kind of guy, and I think that's largely to do with that sort of appreciation and healthy fear of the STDs and the babies.
I don't know if I'd call it healthy, but it was a fear.
Yeah.
Is a fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
And I think that also comes too because we're just a hop away from the entire generation that was completely petrified of AIDS.
That's true.
And ravaged by AIDS in the 80s,
Yeah.
So, good for us, I guess.
Yeah, we lucked out.
We did. We did. Everyone, condoms come out and they're like, yeah, cool. I guess we'll use them sometimes if we're a sailor or whatever. And then 80s came around and it's like, oh, we really need to be more careful.
Yeah. And then our generation. Yeah, I remember. I can't remember. I think it's an Omarion song or a Marcus Houston song where he's talking about.
I haven't heard that name in years.
I know, dude. I'm pulling that one from way back here.
Mario Winans, perhaps.
This song where he's talking about losing his virginity, and one of the old heads on his block tells him to wrap it up twice, strap twice. And I always thought, like, well, that seems like a pretty that's a pretty good idea. I mean, more condoms the better, right? Right? I mean, you would just think that logically you put on. I mean, why stop at 2?
You duct tape a tube sock on the end after that.
Yeah, I mean, you just keep going till it's just this like half an inch barrier of rubber. There's nothing getting
for
through
her
that.
pleasure. It makes sense.
I mean, can you imagine all of the ribs? All of the ribs.
Got more ribs than a whale.
Yeah, I soon found out that not only is that bad advice, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah. It's actually more dangerous. Yeah.
Tried it though.
I mean,
it didn't go well.
You gotta experiment sometimes, right?
Yeah. By myself.
I mean, that's safer than not. So
It's the safest.
it's by yourself. If you're listening, kids,
By yourself is the safest.
By yourself is always the safest.
Always the safest.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the One Beer In podcast.
Yep.
The podcast where two brews crack open a brew and see where that one brew takes us. Took us to Pound Town.
Yeah.
My name is Marco Dupa. I think I introduced this, but I'll do it again. That's Adam Obesis Rodriguez.
I'm still here, Brewskis.
And this is still episode 301. And thank you, everybody who listened to and gave us feedback on episode 300. We appreciate the time that you took out to give us said feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And we appreciate the listens. We appreciate the views.
Hourglass Brewing.
Hourglass, we appreciate you guys so much. And that is all I'll say about that. It was a good time. It was a good time, and I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, it was legitimately a lot of fun. I was kind of worried about, like the logistics you were talking about. But,
Yeah.
I mean, other than setting up, it was a breeze.
Yeah.
They hooked us up. Super easy. And, again, the space is really cool. So check that out.
And I just realized there was more pictures on my camera than I thought from before. So we'll post a couple more on Instagram. So check us out. One Beer In on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, on Twitter, Instagram was trending with the hashtag. Well, not really the hashtag, but the auto-populate of did Instagram?
Saw that, yeah.
And which, by the way, is really funny because it was a collective. Did they just?
Did Instagram?
And yes, so I don't know if it is user base wide, but the vast majority of us lost the ability to see likes. Something that they were talking about doing a long time ago.
Yeah.
They did with a handful of accounts as sort of an experiment. Ironically, neither one of our personal accounts were affected, but actually our podcast account was affected by it. So on our podcast account, we can't see likes, but on our personal accounts, we could. And so we kind of got a taste of what that would feel like and what it would look like, because basically their idea is so many people are basing their validation and importance on social media and the, I guess, currency exchange of likes and engagement.
Right.
And so the experiment was, if we remove part of that, what would that do for people's psyche? What would it do for what would it do to the metric of success on the platform for these Instagrammers, for these, models, for people for engagement? What would this look like in a world where things weren't based on how much I saw that you were being engaged with? What would it look like if I legitimately just cared about what you posted?
Right.
Versus
on face value, instead of seeing something's popular and going, I guess I'll like it too.
So It's only been a couple of days, so it's hard to tell how you would feel about it on your personal page. But did you ever kind of scroll through on the podcast page to kind of get a feel for how it looked and what it looked like?
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, I still do early on, especially after we post, just to see how something's performing. Because by saying that it's gone, it's not really gone. You just have to click to see who's liked it, right?
Well, so
Is that the deal?
if I want to see who's liked yours, I can still click it, but I have to literally count how many people.
Right,
it doesn't
right.
show you a number.
Yeah. So you just have a general feel for it, basically.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, when it happened to our page, what I did was basically do that, where I would click it and just kind of scroll.
Yeah.
And however long.
you can see it. The user can see it. If I go to
Really?
your page, let's see.
Because I never saw that on our page.
I could be wrong. I could have this mixed up.
Yeah, because I never saw that on our page, and it never really bothered me because I was able just to kind of tell.
No. You're right. You can't. You just can't see it. You'd have to actually know the number.
Right. So it'll just show a smattering of like a couple of people.
Well,
Actually,
now-
no. It's
now-
just
now the
one
li-
person.
Now the likes are back though.
Oh. Wow. I mean, not on our page though. It's still just one person and then others.
Really? They still
Yeah.
kept it away from. Okay, so. All right.
Oh, and it'll say it actually on the very top of your. When you click in, it shows at the very top.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this even a topic anymore?
Well, maybe it's not. Is it fully rolled out yet? Because they tend to do these things in sections.
Well, it seems like they do them in sections, but they wouldn't take it away and then give it back to us. I'm thinking that was probably a mistake.
Okay.
It was too many people to experience it at the same time for them to take it back.
Mm-hmm.
For that not to be a mistake. For it to only be like 2 days, happens to a bunch of people, then they just revert back.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
What I'm thinking is, I thought they had given up on it. I thought that so now I'm thinking that's a surefire sign that it's coming back and it's going to hit like pretty much the entire user base.
Yeah.
But I wonder because it didn't make a difference.
I mean, that's exactly what I was going to say is like, do you really care? I don't care. I don't care either way. It's still something that you can see if you really want to, but
I guess it would matter more if we were getting like, 10,000 likes and then it dropped to 5,000 and we were like, what's going on? We'd have to figure out like what. But that has to do with like the algorithm and how many people were being exposed to and whatnot.
And their argument, by them I mean Instagram's argument, would be make more engaging content then. Because if people are only liking it because other people like it, then you have like an inflation of popularity that makes your stuff more popular just based on the fact that it's popular.
Yeah, but who is Instagram to turn like for them to be like, and we're obviously putting words in their mouths, but for them to say something like, well, make your content more engaging. It's like, well, you are casually sidestepping years of psychology to be like, just be better.
Yeah.
Just be better on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason that people do, the reason that you see that many likes and then you go, well, I mean, I don't want to be the one person who doesn't like the thing. Yeah. That has a lot more to do with, society and people's, I mean, an understanding of psychology that is far beyond my Goodwill Hunting readings.
Yeah.
But it's just it's like, I don't know. It's an interesting experiment, but like I said, I just don't think it's going to make a huge difference. But it's also, it's weird. It's I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the more likes, the better. It is
sure. No,
validating.
it feels good. It feels good. But my point is, it doesn't. Them removing it from like the page itself doesn't affect that that level of I don't know, whatever that feeling is, that validation you get from your pic getting, more than 25 likes or whatever.
Well, the people who want to engage with it are going to engage. Like, I'll like a photo just because I think it's dope. And then sometimes if I see too many likes, I'm like, you got too many. I'm not going to add to this.
I don't need to do this. Do you think maybe it has more to do with like bots and bots liking them?
So I'm glad you brought that up because yes, that probably has a lot to do with it.
Just to try to deter people from engaging with bots.
But the thing is, you're not going to stop the bots from liking it. And also Instagram, do something about your comment section.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting to the point where it's like,
I'm even getting spam in my inbox. Have you gotten that yet?
Yes.
You're like added to
all
some
the time.
comment.
All the time I get added to something. Somebody asking me to be on some Spotify playlist or a bunch of porn accounts that are like, what are you doing tonight? It's all kinds of shit. I've only answered to a couple of them. And it hasn't gone anywhere. So
are you alone right now? Yeah.
Yeah, very alone. What do you want to do? So instead of experimenting with likes and different fucking fonts and all this stupid shit, what you need to be doing is cleaning up the fucking user base.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And don't tell me that this is too much of a task. This is the entire point of the platform.
You think it may be because they don't really want to, because a lot of it still keeps people on the platform.
What do you mean? Like, why get rid of all those bots when those bots game the numbers and keep people?
They're part of the game, so to say. This is maybe their roundabout way of like devaluing the like, so that it's not as public, and therefore, the value of having 1,000 bots on your page to like stuff goes down.
But the thing is, if you remove all of these bots and you make it all real engagement, first things first, you're not going to have to contend with the fact that 70% of the comments on any given page is just, I need something long and hard tonight.
Yeah. Well, there's really no way to remove all the bots because they're just, it's like a virus. They just keep multiplying.
Of course.
But
there are ways to, but you can crack down on it. You can remove a lot. I mean, I one of the reasons I stopped hashtagging my pictures was anytime I would hashtag a picture, most of the time it was just spam accounts that would like it and comment. And I realized that I was just inflating the engagement on any said post.
Right.
So like if it was something for music, for instance, if I was posting a snippet of a song and wanting people to go to the link in bio, and 30 of the likes were accounts from India or porn accounts, then it's not real and no one's really engaging with the song. So
Indians are real, Marco.
Not these Indians.
Okay.
I'll show them to you.
Okay.
It's a different kind of Indian.
Oh, I'll give them a look.
So they weren't, if they weren't engaging with the actual post, then it was as if those likes and comments weren't there.
Yeah. It's the same thing with all the comments that are like, link up with us, join up.
Yeah.
Let us sponsor you.
Yeah. DM for collab.
That's the good one.
But that's what I'm saying. So what is the difference between removing all of that shit and seeing what we're left with and, leaving it and knowing that 30 to 40% of your comments are just spam?
Yeah, I think the way that they work it right now, and I could be completely wrong because I'm not, an engineer for...
Well, then why are you even talking?
Let's just close the show.
All right. We'll see you later. This is the One Bear Pod.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know the machinations behind the scene for Instagram, but my general idea behind it is they basically leave it, they'll be able to tell if there's like automated messaging going on just from copy and paste content.
Yeah.
And they'll probably flag that internally, like just instantaneously. But I think a lot of the heavy lifting has to do with just people reporting stuff. So they leave it kind of for their user base, which is much bigger than their team, to handle a lot of the reporting that gets it down the pipe for them to go, oh, yeah, that is a bot. Let's close it.
They don't give a fuck about that either, though, because Flying Lotus was talking about how there was some guy purporting to be an A&R for his record label, Brain Feeder. Mm-hmm. So I reported the account, and I said that they were pretending to be someone
else. Yeah.
I said someone else, and then the only option that they gave me was actually putting an @ in.
Right. Yeah.
And it wasn't Flying Lotus, obviously. It was they were pretending to be some guy at Brain Feeder.
Who's not on Twitter or not public.
Right. So I put in Lotus thinking that they were going to give me like a comment section or something. They didn't. And then they came back with a review like 10 minutes later, and they were like, this person's not violating any. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, if you've only given me these 3 or 4 bullet points, and then I have to choose from these things, it's like,
yeah,
you're not even trying.
I mean, it's on them because they streamline that process so much, because you have to imagine there are hundreds of thousands of reports happening probably every day.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's a near impossible task to crack down to the level that we'd be satisfied with.
Yeah.
Could they be doing better? Probably.
Well, I mean, even so much as when you sign up, having some kind of 2-step verification before you can even get an account.
Sure. Yeah,
something.
I mean, but you see, then it makes it harder it gives you an extra step to get into that account. So that's going to turn a lot of legitimate people off. And their main goal is to get as many people in there as possible.
Yeah, but you have to think that they're such a conglomerate at this point that they wouldn't be worried about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know what you're saying, because you're probably right. I mean, when it comes to capitalism, it's like, dude, I don't care how many bodies we get in this building, as long as the fucking support beams don't break, put more people in this building. I don't care. So they're probably just like, yeah, I mean, we could do that, but that would deter Steve over there. And Steve doesn't have an Instagram account.
Well, and it's I mean, like the most basic of UX design rules online, which is basically anything that makes it harder for the person to do what they're trying to do on your platform is bad.
Yeah.
You cut that down as much as possible. You make it as streamlined as possible. You add in as few clicks as possible to get them from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And I mean, I felt it myself while going through some websites that aren't designed very well. Like, really, I have to scroll through this entire thing to find the thing I'm looking for. I can't just type it in. Or like, you're really gonna make me type in all of this stuff, or even on your phone. Like, pet peeve of mine. Whining corner for a second.
All right.
Whenever you're filling out a form online and it's obviously only going to be numbers, and they give you the full keyboard instead of just giving you the numbers, it pisses me off. Just give me the numbers. Like, letters aren't an option when I'm putting in my birth date, right? Yeah. Eliminate them. Just give me the little keypad. Boop, 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 and that's it.
Agreed.
Easy. So that's my point.
I feel that one.
That's my point. And whenever I see it, I go, good on you guys.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
And it automatically like gets you to the next thing every time you get done with it. Like, butter. Thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for caring.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, but that's my point, is like anything that adds a step that may be deemed unnecessary, they're not going to do it.
Right. No, that makes sense. I remember when I was younger, dude, I used to try to tell my friends, any person that made music, I used to tell them, I was ahead of the curve on this one. I would be like, look, you got to make it as easy as possible for people. No one is going to click on this link to get to this thing, to do this thing.
Right.
I remember back in the day when I used to put shit out around like 2010, 2011, and I would share a MediaFire link.
Yeah.
Do you know how much of a nightmare that was? To like, well, I had to upload it to MediaShare or MediaFire or any of these like MP3 hosting sites, and then I had to either give everyone that link or host it somewhere else, so everyone had a place to go to download the link, right? So my thought was, give everybody the link. It's super easy. In my head, everybody knows how to click a thing and then unzip a file. Because as soon as you unzip it, but here, this is how they made it so difficult for people. You upload, say your album was 15 tracks. Mm-hmm. You compress that 15 tracks plus the cover art if you really gave a shit, or you could do what people started doing, which was attach it to the file. So as soon as you downloaded it, it went straight to your iTunes. So whatever, right? You put that on you compress the file, upload that to Media Share. So then you come in as the user. You have to click the link. Mm-hmm. It has to download that zip file. You have to unzip it. Then you have to drag and drop those songs into your iTunes account.
Yep.
Then at that point, you have to hope that person...
Or Windows Media Player.
Yep. And then at that point, you have to hope that person has set up auto import for either their phone or their iPod or what have you. If not, it just lived and died on their
computer.
laptop.
Yeah.
I mean, a fucking process.
Yeah. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. I hated it. So as soon as like SoundCloud came out and then Bandcamp, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Bandcamp is such a fucking... Bandcamp was the shit. Upload. It looked nice. It was free.
Yep.
You could put like a nice little blurb about the album. You could charge people. I mean, you can still do all of these things. Bandcamp is still around.
Yeah.
But it was such a revelation. Mm-hmm. Anyway, to get back to the point, which is the fact that you don't want to make it hard for people to sign up for your thing, but you also have to figure out a way to streamline this shit. I think you're right. I think that Instagram and all these other social media services are going to go with the lesser of two evils, which is fuck it, let them all in. Yeah. Because it would be better to just have more than not enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have their own bots working behind the scenes that, again, for clearly copied and pasted thousands of times content, they'll flag that themselves.
Yeah.
Anything else? Let the masses take care of it. You know?
Well, I'm going to go click on somebody's page and give somebody something long and hard tonight. I'm a lonely boy.
What?
It's one of the most common messages I see.
Okay.
Does somebody have something long and hard? I bet I could go to a celeb's page right now. Not a celebrity's page. It's usually like Bleacher Report or like ESPN or something.
Just to get one verbatim.
Yeah, I just want to get one. This one has 456. There you go. Second comment. This is a post on SportsCenter about Zach LaVine's unreal pregame dunk. Actually, let's see it. I'll post it. Bounce behind the back slam dunk. That's nice. Bounce between the legs.
Wow, that's nice.
Behind the back. Okay, I mean that's a slam dunk contest dunk. First comment is Richard Jefferson, who fucking shows up all the time. Aaron Gordon was robbed. Second comment. Who here doesn't have a partner? I need someone to take me on vacation with a sad face. Let's go to her page. And it's just some bimbo.
6 pictures. Don't you slut shame. She's fake.
No. So, yeah, you're right. She's a real person.
She
doesn't deserve that. I mean, metaphorically, she's a bimbo.
Okay. Yes.
Metaphorically.
The bot itself is a bimbo.
The bot is the bimbo, not the person. I don't know the person. Alina Bad Girl, come. It just says come. Come.
I'm assuming in the proper English way of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then no, it just says like come over, like just come.
I was like, come on, feel the noise. Yeah.
This person says, how are you?
Hearts.
How are you? Oh, I mean.
And just butts.
And then just ass. Yeah. And then one more. Warning. Don't look at my story if you don't want to be excited. I'm going to look at her story. I want to be excited. Actually, I feel like if I click... I'm clicking on it. Fuck it. Oh, it's just an ad.
My fire videos not 18... Not 18?
No. It says 18. Wait, what are you talking about? Free for my Instagram subscribers. Oh, yeah, it does say not 18.
My fire... the letters of my fire not 18 videos and photo. No, we don't want that.
Oh, I get what she's saying. She's like a teen.
No one.
She's under 18. She's not 18. That's what she's saying.
That's illegal.
Yeah, it's like teen videos.
Ew.
Yeah, no, it's gross. I know. Yeah, it's gross. But I'm just saying. But then she's like
18 and
18 and
only.
up. But I'm 18 and under.
No, that's
Yeah.
not okay.
Yeah,
that's not okay.
That's not okay.
That is not. That's not exciting.
No. She's definitely 18.
She's not a person.
Well, she's a person.
She's a person.
Yeah, but this page is not.
The page is not a person.
Yes, of course. Okay, let me save that. Ding.
You can't do that for the under 18 page, Marco.
Absolutely not.
Ew! Stop it.
No, that's gross. That's fucking
That's
disgusting.
terrible.
Yeah, it's gross. No, it's gross. It's gross. It's gross.
This will go on forever until you say it sincerely.
No. Sincerely, not into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't like that.
Thank you. I'm glad we can draw that
No.
line in the stands, Marco.
Yeah. No, seriously, line drawn. That's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross. And you
Also,
know somebody,
a strange way to like spam. You know?
Yeah.
Very weird.
Very strange.
Very weird.
Very strange.
For a second, I thought it was trying to say, if you're under 18, don't check it out. Maybe that was the intent.
Yeah, and that person who's obviously not from this country, who's using this girl's pictures, was
got it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like under 18, view or don't. Wait, what?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's too bad. It's too bad.
Yeah.
Because between that, if you follow a bunch of sports pages, between the porn accounts, the bots, and the fucking dummies who think they're funny on Bleacher Report, it's just, I mean, people are talking about like, oh, Instagram sucks. Yeah, I mean, and part of the reason is...
No, you suck.
Yeah, the people suck. The users suck on this.
Yeah.
And they're just letting them do it. If I ran a page, like, how hard is it? If you run one of these pages, how hard is it for you to go through the comments and just fucking start slicing and dicing, man? It's not that hard. I know some of these pages get a lot of engagement, so
Yeah.
it would be difficult if you got like, 1,000 comments in, minutes. That would be difficult. I get it.
I think it's easy to say that without seeing how many are deleted, because
Yeah, I guess that's true.
there could have been thousands already deleted from that one. Because initially I was thinking, okay, well, they could easily take like at least the top 10 spam ones, and just delete them.
Yeah.
Just off bat. It's easy to tell those are spam accounts. Delete them.
Yeah.
But maybe they've done that 5 times over, and it just so happens that those are the ones that are next on the rung, Or, God forbid, one time they see an account that looks like spam but isn't, and then suddenly, oh my God, they're violating my First Amendment rights. They deleted my account telling people to look at my OnlyFans.
Yeah, true.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine the? Well, no, but at this point, I think an account. I think they would be justified in if they made that mistake. They would be like, look, it's an honest mistake. Look at your account. What do you want me to do?
It's too much trouble for them. Too much.
Yeah.
It takes too much manpower, too much time. They're not going to do it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You're right. You're right. What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? I mean, like we established, doesn't make sense for them.
Nope.
Anyway, all that to say, yeah, I mean, if they brought the likes back, all this was like, they'll take them away, though. They are.
Sure. I mean, it's always in flux, so they're always going to be changing. I know we talked about this maybe 100 episodes ago.
Oh, yeah. When they first decided to do this, we talked about it.
And the fact of the matter is, like I said back then, is that there's nothing constant in social media.
How do you know you said that?
I remember.
Yeah? You feel
Still
it?
trap. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
When's my birthday? I forget.
When's my birthday?
I don't know. It's stupid.
It's kind of fucked up.
No, I genuinely don't remember birthdays. I barely remember my own.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. May 6th.
Are you saying for my birthday?
I just took the dart and went.
Was it November 29th?
Oh, so close.
8th.
Yeah, you got it. Good job. Good job. I'll look yours up.
I'm taking it off of everything.
Oh,
so
you're not
you
gonna
have
do
to just
that.
know.
That's not okay.
You just have to just know.
I don't appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
In the fall. It's in the fall.
It's not in the fall. It's not in the fall. You've been around for all of them for the past like 10 years.
It's in the summer.
It's in the summer.
Yeah.
It is in the summer.
I
remember it being hot.
Yeah. July. Yeah. July 16th.
You were off by one day too. 15.
Okay.
Yeah, see, you knew.
I have to do the Google search in my own head, and I get closer and closer. But
Yeah.
I don't know them off rip like that. I just don't. I just don't. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. People always get so fucking offended when you don't remember their birthday. It's like, what do you want me to do?
Genuinely though, like, and I've used this as a crutch. I know I have, but I have a really hard time remembering dates, and I don't know why. I just that's the way my brain works or does not.
Yeah.
But I just don't remember dates very well. I don't know what it is. I just never have.
They're not that important.
No, I mean, like, I don't even, like, okay.
They might be important. Depends on the date.
I've always had trouble. I guess I may missed class the time they taught, like, what days have what months have how many days in them.
Yeah, there used to be that little thing you could do with your hands. You would know which I don't remember.
I overheard the song one time, April, June, and November, whatever that stuff. I don't know. It never stuck with me. So, like, maybe that set me up for failure because I just don't know my dates well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly looking at the calendar, just like writing notes and stuff. I'm like, just remember that happened that time.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I'll never understand how people remember like seasons. Not like fall and winter and whatnot.
There's only 4.
No, not those. I mean, like it. Okay, for instance, I mean, I've watched sports my entire life. I don't know when any of the seasons start of any league.
Okay,
I just don't. I know the time period.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't.
Baseball.
Yes, people just know, and I'm like, how do you know the day that it starts? People are like, oh, off season or like preseason's coming up, and I'm like, how do you know that?
Did you just see that on your phone?
How do you know? Or when people are like, kids will be out for the next week for spring break.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you know what week it is?
Uh-huh.
How do you know that?
Yeah. I mean, it's only gotten worse in the pandemic. Like,
oh yeah,
time is nothing. It's gravy in my bowl.
Meaningless.
It falls to the bottom and just sits there.
No metaphor has become more apt than Dolly's melting clocks.
Yeah.
They're just
I thought you meant Dolly Parton for a second, and
what metaphors?
I was like, what song
what
is melting clocks?
Metaphorically.
I got melting clocks.
Yeah.
Time has no meaning. Come on, give me some.
Is that
Come on. Give me some. Come on.
I can see it.
Okay.
It. I got melting clocks.
Mm-hmm.
Time has no meaning.
Uh-huh.
Time has no meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Okay, thank you.
I like it.
I was hoping to add to it, but
I couldn't think of
It's fine. I don't remember birthdays. You don't remember
Dolly Parton
Parton
songs.
lyrics that don't exist.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to think of the melody of a Dolly Parton song, but
9 to 5. That's what I was doing.
I know, but all I could think, only thing that registered in my head was Jolene.
Okay,
That's the only thing that registered in my head.
Well, those are the 2 big ones.
You know, I haven't really listened to Dolly Parton that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not no. And I hear people, they say how good of a songwriter she is, and she's written some incredible songs, so I understand that.
Sure.
But like I just never sat down and listened to a Dolly Parton album.
There's a lot of it. I've done a little bit of digging because I had the same revelation in the revival of Dolly that we've had in the past like couple years.
Oh, when they revived her from the dead.
Oh, come on. You can't be mean to Dolly. But yeah, I did a little. I was gonna say I did a little digging, but that just is inappropriate now.
Yeah, you did a little digging.
I did some research and looked up some of her most popular albums and stuff, and what I found was there's a ton of Dolly Parton, and it makes sense because she's been recording since like the 60s, or early 70s maybe, but she's done tons of like collaboration albums and like duets and all, like she has a long line of things,
like our boy Tony Bennett.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Guys that got like 112 albums.
And, at that point, it's like, unless you're a mega fan, you don't know it all.
No.
And there's no way you really can.
No.
And when there's that much to look at, it's kind of overwhelming. So you just kind of like go, you guys enjoy. I did that really for a long time with Grateful Dead, too. Because, like, there's so many iterations of the band, and, like, it's been going on for so long and it's its own, like, thing. It's like its own thing.
Unless somebody tells me that you need to check out this band in this era, I'll never listen to a band that's not the OG lineup.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, unless it's like current iterations, sure. Like, I just discovered them and these are the guys who they are right now. Fine. But if this is like some old school band and you're like, yeah, they got rid of the lead guitarist in like 75. It's like, all right, well then that's when that band ended for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to the 80s iteration. I'm not listening to Sammy Hagar. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing it.
No respect for
Van Hagar.
Van Hagar?
No
No?
Van Hagar. No, dude.
Okay.
Van Halen died when he died, but also when
You're being the worst right now.
I know. I don't care.
Yeah.
But when Eddie Lee, no, what's his first name? Something Lee Roth. What?
What?
Am I just making that up?
Eddie Money?
Eddie, hey, he could have done it too. Who's the lead singer of Van Halen? Lee Roth. Something Lee Roth. Right?
I gotcha.
Anyway, when he left, that was it. And that was it for the band too. That was it for the quality of their albums.
I mean, they still had tons of hits to come though.
Like what?
Van Hagar had a ton of songs.
Did they?
They did.
Did they?
David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
That'd be weird if there was two Eddies in the band.
Yeah.
That's why he goes by Van Halen. They're like, we can't. There's
Right.
too many Eddies in this band.
Yeah.
What is look up the Van Hagar songs. Look up just the biggest Hagar era Van Halen song.
Okay.
Hagar didn't have it like Lee Roth did, man. Jumping around doing the splits. Ow! Ah! Whatever the fuck that was. He just didn't have it.
Yeah. There are none. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't have like a huge. I mean, they kept the band going. That's like I was listening to some early Santana, dude. Whenever you get a chance, go on Santana's wiki and look at how many past members there were in that band.
Oh yeah.
He had a different iteration probably every other year. He had
Yeah.
a different iteration of the band.
The same. A lot of those like early 70s groups had tons of different like iterations. Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Tons and tons. They have like different eras of that band.
Yeah, I just don't like it. Just don't like that. I like that there's like there's a sound, there's an idea, there's an entity, there's a personality to it. It loses all of that when you're just like, we'll slot guys in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's no attitude to it. There's no like Guns N' Roses is a good example. Like that first iteration of the band is like the best. And then you let Axl go off and, put Chicken Head or whatever, Buckethead in the band.
It's called Chicken
Head. That Chicken Head ass bitch.
Wop wop.
He he's an incredible guitarist.
Yeah.
He's like, he's one of those like
He's a virtuoso.
math
I listened to way too much Buckethead. For a little while there, yeah.
No, he's incredible. I watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch his shit on YouTube sometimes where he's just like fucking.
Oh, it's crazy.
I mean, he's like a software engineer on a guitar.
Yeah.
Like it's just. But I mean, he doesn't have the dick and balls that Slash has.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
and
not
he
the
just
same.
never will.
It's not.
He
the
just
same.
never will.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. What else was there? Oh, Sabbath.
Oh yes, Sabbath is a really good example. I think Sabbath though is different because when Dio jumps in, he changes it.
Yeah, and it becomes a different thing. And
Yeah.
and I mean, Dio's fantastic, obviously.
And see, that's not a good example because Dio fucking rocks.
Yeah.
So-
but it's a different band.
But it is, and they should have
Yeah.
just changed their name.
I think so.
Because it's a different thing
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. We're gonna spend too much time looking into the air, going, which ones? Oh, that one guy.
Yeah.
That one guy. But to the Dolly Parton thing, yeah, dude. Some of these artists, like I wanted to do the deep dive on like Elvis Presley,
Mhm.
just to I don't know, just to understand it, I guess. And he was more of like a showman. Everything that he did was you had to see it,
Right.
because the songs, I mean, he sounds cool enough, but I mean, you know, he was one of those guys that when they put albums together, it was just like Elvis sings the blues.
Well, and
Elvis is sad.
especially at that time, it was a singles-led market.
Right.
You weren't marketing the album. You're marketing the album only because it had all the singles everyone heard on the radio.
Right.
So it was really just a collection of singles. There wasn't like a cohesive like project in that sense. So, I mean, a lot of those really early artists tend to basically be able to more easily be summed up by like a greatest hits album.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I think it hurts him as an artist.
Oh yeah, no, it 100% does, and I think time and distance takes away from Elvis.
Yeah.
Because I mean, beyond the obvious of, you know, his kind of legacy being, well, you know, he was mostly put up on this pedestal because people weren't willing to accept black artists at the time doing this music. Beyond that, like it is like what you're saying. He was the zeitgeist, and like you kind of had to be there to be a real Elvis person.
Yeah.
I feel, because it was an entire scene and like a movement for people. But without all that, like obviously still a great artist, still had tons of hit songs and catchy tunes and stuff. But
I wouldn't call him great.
Great.
He was mediocre.
Great pop artist.
Yeah, he was. People are gonna crucify me for this, but you know, he was just he was the guy at the time.
Yeah, he's a dreamy, handsome dude.
Just like a Shawn Mendes or like a Jonas Brothers.
Who crooned and you know, made girls faint.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of Elvis was a time and place thing, and the farther we get away from that era where people were actually there, the smaller his kind of legacy becomes.
Most of them are dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of it's the boomer generation, so
Yeah.
you know, a lot of them are aging out, and you know, just not having a real impact on pop culture anymore. Where we saw that revitalized in like the early '90s with like the return of swing and stuff like that, and it's like that.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
That-
Then it's like a dance mix.
Yeah, no, exactly, and
Do-wah.
that continued on for a while. We had a full like I don't know, maybe 5 years of revitalizing swing for some reason.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about? Everybody's wearing like zoot suits and shit.
Yeah.
And you've got Mambo number 5,
And
number
then
1 on the hit.
it kind of weirdly blended into a new ska movement too, with
Yeah.
like this ska pop punk
Yeah.
that then led into more pop punk.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's a weird time.
It's like 1998 and they're going, "Hey, Panchuco," and you're like,
What? Record scratch meme. Yeah, it was weird. But my point in saying that is like we're having less of that influence because those people aren't here really anymore I mean, they're here, but they're not like influencing pop culture in that way.
Right.
To be like, did you guys check this out? Did you guys check this out? Now it's turning into like the 80s people doing that.
Yeah.
And now even the 90s influencing stuff again.
Speaking of that lady that just went viral for her TikTok defending Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
gross.
my God.
Now listen, y'all here.
Dude.
I'm about to rap.
Somebody said, us millennials, we're not sending our best.
Yeah.
This fight between the millennials and Gen Z, we're not sending our best soldiers.
Yeah.
Somebody else tweeted, they were like, yo, this millennials versus Gen Z shit, that's white people's business.
I saw that too, yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that's white people's business. That's funny.
Strange.
I gotta pull it up though.
We can pop it in probably.
Yeah, but I want us to listen to it again.
I
know you don't want to listen.
Really don't want to.
We can pop it in.
Yeah, put it in post. It's fine.
No, we're gonna listen to it right here.
Gen Z's trying to what?
I love that.
Cancel Eminem.
Who is?
Gen Z's trying to cancel Eminem.
Who is?
Honey.
Cute. Listen, little kitties, let me make this quite clear. This man was around even before you were here. So what, you're all mad because the man was a lyricist?
Hey.
While all your rappers are mumbling gibberish? No. Go ahead and shut your mouth.
No.
Better yet, go and sit your ass in time out because boy was running laps even before you could walk. Hell, boy was spitting bars even before you could talk. So no, afraid you're null and void, dear. I'm afraid your opinion don't matter here because one day you'll grow up and see how everyone went and forgot about Z.
Oh man.
What?
I'm telling you, man. I watched it. I watched it a lot. This is a perfect example of like these cringe talks that I'll hate watch until my body can't feel things.
Imagine her doing that and going,
Fucking
nailed it.
Nailed it. What you said about watching it on mute and she's asking for the manager, that's really funny.
Yeah, look at her face.
She's doing
what? Actually, yeah.
Excuse me, you're null and void.
I forgot about Z.
Oh God.
I like her acting too. She's like someone's like, it's
what?
like someone just said it offhandedly.
Do you know they're trying to cancel Eminem?
What?
What?
Yeah. Let me look down at my lyrics. Listen, little kids. Listen, little kids.
And I like how she's saying it like at half volume. She's just like,
yeah.
She clearly doesn't rap.
No.
I could just tell.
I mean,
I'm good like that.
How could you put two and two together?
Listen, little kids.
Listen, little kids.
Listen, little kids.
Yeah, there's somebody in the other room, like her husband or something.
Yeah. The kids are sleeping, okay?
Yeah.
I only have this much time to be a fun mom.
Or she's rapping right at her little kids.
Listen, little kids.
You know what? Cancel Eminem. How about that? Cancel him. I'm done. Like, get rid of him.
I think we're fine with
that. I'm not fighting with Gen Z on this. Cancel him.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't care.
No. He's
dude,
done enough.
Honestly, dude. And this is, look, I like early Eminem. We've talked about it a lot, you know. But if you removed his entire discography from hip hop, I swear to you, it would make a difference to me. It wouldn't make a fucking dent on how I feel about hip hop, my influences, things that I listen to. It wouldn't make a fucking dent.
I mean, he's a huge deal. I mean, yet again, another perfect example of a time and place type of person. I mean, he was, I would say, in his genre, more talented than Elvis.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you weren't there, going back to those albums, I feel is rough going. As somebody born in, I don't know, 2005 or something, you know, like trying to jump into the Marshall Mathers LP, you're gonna be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's a little annoying trying to explain that to people. Trying to, like, it seems that right now people don't care about context anymore. They just don't want to explore things completely. They want to take everything on face value. So if you listen to a song like Kim, you're like, this guy sold how many records?
Yeah.
He had how many people supporting him?
This was on something called TRL.
But I mean, within context, it's still fucked up. But it's also like, it makes more sense when you were there, man.
No, it does, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Is like, it was definitely a time and place thing where it was like, oh wow, this white guy can really rap.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like, he seems dangerous. Like, he's saying some really crazy, weird stuff. Really aggressive, really homophobic, and that's kind of his corner. Like, he's on drugs clearly.
Yeah.
And hates his mom and his girlfriend. Like, that's his niche. That's his niche.
Yeah.
And we're gonna allow it because it's 1999.
Yeah.
And it was in a strange way, like, I think that almost gave him more respect, because it was so clear he wasn't like a joke, because he was being so shocking and so extreme culture that it melded into the current, theme of the decade, basically.
Do you think that, like, if a performing artist from like the 50s, their shtick was, I'm going to say really fucked up things, and then, we discover that artist now, and we go, Jesus Christ, they were saying some really fucked up shit back then. Like, at what point do we give the artist, I guess, rope to do these things versus saying something like, here's a good example, like the whole Dr. Seuss thing. The Dr. Seuss estate decided that they were going to stop stop publishing a handful of some of his earlier work, for various reasons, mostly because of the racist portrayal of Asian people, black people, and I think it's just Asian people and black people. I know I read an article where I didn't even know this, but like when he was younger, he'd do like super anti-Semitic cartoons and shit. Yeah, Dr. Seuss. I know that we all have this idea of him just, because of what he's done for our childhoods, and he's just like this. I mean, we do it to all of them. We deify all of these guys, like Bill Nye and fucking Einstein and Dr. Seuss.
All notable anti-Semites.
I'm just saying, like, when they step out of line, we go, oh, and it's like, yeah, but he's just a dude.
Yeah.
And we made them gods.
Well, and especially, the people you talked about that there's not much footage of in color.
Right. Right.
Like, that there is something to be said about time and place, obviously. Also, I gave you way more beer than I did. I'm very upset about it. No, it's fine. It's, we can't have that on TV.
Yeah, I guess
it's the pandemic.
That's true. Here, pull that back. I don't want it to pull focus. Just put it in between. There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
But what I was gonna say is, with Dr. Seuss, for instance, those things were, they were fine then. They were acceptable at the time, and I don't think. I'm not gonna speak for Dr. Seuss. He seems like a complicated guy. But at the time, those were representations of those people in the media at that point.
That was a pop culture way of looking at people.
Right. So, say Eminem, for instance, if you're literally talking about canceling Eminem or whatever, right? His dealings with homophobia and using the F word and the way that he just talked about gay people, we knew it as satire because not only because we understood the nuance of the song, but also because he was kind of obvious with it outside of his music. He was kind of, he's friends with Elton John. He talks about it like all the time. Like, I was just making music. Wasn't actually being blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But if you take those things on face value, what's the difference? Why do we give M such leeway? Is it because we grew up with him and we understand the nuance? Is there any difference?
I feel like the difference you could make. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with this viewpoint, but the difference you could make is that somebody could say that Dr. Seuss, like as we were saying, wasn't doing that for shock value. He was doing it because it was just the norm, right?
Okay. Sure.
Whereas Eminem was clearly doing it to shock people and to make him somebody, your mom wouldn't want you to listen to, and you couldn't listen to on the way to school or something.
Mm.
That was very much on purpose, along with a lot of other stuff, a lot of violent overtones, and basically working within like horrorcore hip hop for a while there.
But if I called you the F word,
mm-hmm.
just to shock you, I still said it.
Yeah,
I still called you that.
Sure.
So there has to be something to be said for you're still doing the thing that you're making this whole thing around and about and nuanced and all this other stuff. You're still doing the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is why I say all that to say I think it would make more sense to cancel someone like Eminem over someone like Dr. Seuss, given the time and place situation. I'm not saying you should cancel either of them, but I'm just saying logically that would make a little bit more sense. Like if we're going to trial on this, I think that there's more evidence to show that Eminem was doing it because it would shock people. And
well, don't tell her that.
Please
go ahead and shut your mouth.
Please stop. But that being said, I think there is something also to an artist's intent, kind of muddled within time and place, and I think all that stuff you have to take into account. And I mean, I'm speaking as a heterosexual male, so I would completely understand if you are LGBTQ and can't listen to Eminem or don't think he was a good artist or think he was a hate monger or whatever.
Yeah.
However you feel about it, I understand. So
yeah, I mean, and I have friends who are gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
We're beyond that.
And they're fans of. God damn it. They're fans of Eminem.
Yep.
Lived here, motherfucker. I was watching this clip of Michael Jackson accepting an award, and Eddie Murphy was presenting it to him. The mic comes up, and the mic is too low, and he goes to Eddie, and he's like, "Lift this, and Eddie's like, "Motherfucker, bend down," and he just pushes his head down, and he's like, "He told me to lift it. I almost did. Yeah, yes, Michael." He just starts lifting. That's the power of fucking Michael Jackson, man.
Yeah.
What a power! I mean, and now anytime I adjust the mic, I always think about that clip. But sorry. I'll get it right next time.
You having some time here?
No, it's fucking... It's loose somewhere.
Okay.
Not here.
That's what she said.
That... Eminem's his peak was that era. Where that shit is funny.
Yes. I feel like this is a very condensed episode, actually, if you look at it that way.
Like
late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely like some X Games shit.
Yeah.
You're watching the Winter Games, somebody's snowboarding.
Yep.
And he just guzzles some Mountain Dew. You've got Eminem on in the background.
Yep.
Not Eminem. What's a ska band that was around then?
Um,
Pepper. You got Pepper going on in the background.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're eating. I didn't do any of that shit.
I mean, Flamin' Hot Cheetos for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Okay, yeah.
Or Doritos.
And you're wearing board shorts
some
and nothing
Doritos,
else.
yeah. Board shorts with thong sandals. They have to be
White.
leather.
Leather?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get
the leather kind that just get a nice perfume after a while.
Nice perfume. That's good.
Like the toe inserts made of hemp, obviously.
Yeah. Ugh. Gross.
You're wearing some Billabong shorts.
You got to. You have to.
Quicksilver t-shirt.
Yep.
Or just the A style shirt, the sleeveless.
Uh-huh.
And let's see, Hurley cap. An oversized Hurley baseball cap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're fitted, but you bought the head size that was like 1.5 inches too wide.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hate buying hats buying fitted hats. I hate, dude. When snapbacks came back in style, I was like, oh,
thank God.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I fucking hated buying fitted caps.
Yeah.
They were so stupid. You go in there and you've got the little thing you can put on your head to size it, or they would figure it out, or you would just fucking guess. You would just go in there and just put on
Try
a bunch
on
of hats.
like 5 hats.
But then like
you walk
New
in the
Era
lids.
was different than Michelin Ness,
Yeah.
and like each company had its own 8.5, and you're like, how? It's the same measurement.
Yeah.
How are they different?
This is a modicum of what women feel when they're trying to buy clothes.
One size fits all. Am
Uh-huh.
I right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get out of here.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Before we get the fuck out of here, we have to review this brewski. So, Adam, please tell the what did you think of the Delirium barrel aged?
I mean, they don't miss. They don't miss. Final swig. Yeah, I mean it's malty. It's just a touch smoky. I feel there's a little bit of a zest in the back of your throat that I'm enjoying. Just brought home by that general Delirium flavor that I've come to know and love. A little richer than I think the original.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see that as a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that being said, I'm going to give this one a 5.
All right. I agree with you. I'm going to also give it a 5. It has this caramel malty flavor. This beautiful this just engaging mouthfeel. This
thick sweetness. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's I think I gave the regular Delirium a 5. I wonder if I have to give this a 5.5.
I wouldn't be mad at you.
I think I might have to give it hold on. One more.
Lucky.
I think I'm gonna have to give it 5.5.
Okay.
And I think that's my highest score for the year so far. I don't remember the last time I gave something a 6. And to all the breweries out there, I would like to give something a 6. Please. I think we might want to 300 episodes in actually write down a criteria.
Okay.
Maybe have it on the wall here.
Sure.
For what
we're rating on.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we can kind of give get a better idea of what makes a 4 versus a 5.
Just freestyling this, okay?
I'm listening.
Real quick. We can obviously refine.
Mm-hmm.
But we can make 3 criteria. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Each of them worth 2 points. 2 bottle caps.
Okay.
So it can be like Iron Chef, where
Okay.
we rate it and we give 1 or 2 or maybe a half if we want each way down that list. And at the end, we have our review.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's work on this.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So 5.5 for myself.
5.
5 for the big guy. Are we good?
I think we're good.
All right. We're going to go watch some old X Games from like 98. Watch some fucking Dave Mirra. Rest in peace. This has been the One Baron Podcast. For myself, Marco Dupa. For Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Oh, he on X Games mode.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer. Like, share, and subscribe everywhere podcasts are listened to. And have a beautiful evening.
We love you.
Love